Trevor Lawrence signs a massive deal. How can that help Clemson? Welcome to Clemson Football Live. It is a beautiful Friday, June the 14th. The month is just flying by. Come quickly, college football season. Hope it will be here very soon. I hope you'll subscribe. If you like what I'm doing, hope you'll subscribe and you'll pass this along. I also want to let you know that I'm part of the College Huddle. I put a link below this video so you can check out the College Huddle. And yeah, I'm part of just a group of podcasters and YouTubers who represent their schools. So check them out. Let them know that I said hello to them through you because I'm part of it. Nothing I've said has made sense so far. I just need to go ahead and get into the topic. Also, by the way, I put it below the details of the video. I just don't know if it actually is taken into the world of YouTube. If it's nope, it erased again. If you want to join my email list that lets you know when I go live, I'm actually going to put my email address in here in the comment section. And, well, maybe I'll do that later. Yeah, Bobby Durkins at gmail.com. And, hey, I put it there in the chat, so hopefully you can get that. And if you want to join my email list, go ahead and do that. So here we are at 1:30, and I've been rambling and babbling. So let's talk about Trevor Lawrence. Clemson has two unbelievable figures at quarterback. When you think about the run that Clemson had, we can talk about great defensive players. It was truly a team effort. But the two quarterbacks really set things apart. Deshaun Watson. I remember when Clemson actually got the commitment from Deshaun Watson. In my head, I was like, there's no way this guy's going to stay with his commitment. He's going to decommit or something. It was just too good to be true. And we know what happened there, won a national championship. And then Trevor Lawrence, he comes along and he says, yeah, I'm going to sign with the Tigers. And we couldn't believe it. I mean, this guy was unbelievable coming out of high school. And he signs with us. We know what happened, won a national championship as a freshman. He stayed at Clemson for 3 years. He was drafted first overall by the Jaguars. And what's interesting about this is that he was the first overall number one pick for the Tigers. Overall. We had never had that happen. A lot of people thought maybe he would even be the first Heisman winner. And that didn't happen. But there was a lot of first with him. And then after him, we know what has happened. We were spoiled with two unbelievable, truly once-in-a-lifetime quarterbacks that any school, no matter how great they are, would kill to get those two guys, especially within a 2-year period of one another. So this week, he signs a contract, his rookie contract. It's done. It's over with. And he signs a deal for $275 million. It's a 5-year deal, $200 million in guaranteed money and $142 million fully guaranteed at signing. The Jaguars pay him $55 million per year, matching Joe Burrow's league leading contract. As you can tell, I'm reading that from NFL.com. And so you go, but Brian, you asked this question. How can this help Clemson? We're playing some mental gymnastics here. Sure, but let's play. Because there's really nothing to talk about right now. And that's also, pause right there, that's also one of the reasons I'm having a lot of guests on. Is because I'm tired of talking about the circumference of our kicker's left nostril. There's really nothing to talk about right now. We saw the spring game. We heard about the spring practice. We know the players who was early enrollees and the guys who just showed up on campus just a few weeks ago. The next thing to really talk about is the Georgia game. And we do that with a lot of you are using hope as a strategy. And to quote Tim Russell, hope is not a strategy when it comes to football. Hope is the last string that you have when you know that you don't really stand a chance. But hey, but how can this help Clemson? And by the way, let me finish what I was saying there. I'm having people on my show because we need to understand who our competition is within the ACC. We need to know. So Miami, we may never play them this year in the regular season. But did they end up in the ACC championship game? I really don't see that. But what happened if they end up knocking off a few people and it opens up the door for us? NC State, they're the third game of the year for us. We need to know who they are. This is the most hyped they've been about their program in a very, very long time. So I'm having people on because I want to understand who our competition really is. And then I'm having people on who we may never play just to understand really the pulse of college football, especially with all the changes going on. But to talk about Trevor Lawrence's contract, how does this help Clemson? Well, folks, I don't know if you've heard or not, we're not going to go to the transfer portal and pick up a quarterback to bridge the gap. We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback, and that's no shot at Cade. It's not his responsibility to fully develop himself at the college level. That is part of the coaching staff's responsibility. So, unfortunately, us Clemson fans are at this place to where we could go into the portal and pick up a player to bridge the gap until we get the next person in or we fix some development issues. But we know that's not going to happen. So if that channel to our team is broken down, what is our only option? Well, it's that we would recruit in another Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson, which, by the way, is very, very tough to do. Now, how could Trevor Lawrence's $275 million contract help Clemson? It brings Clemson back to the forefront with Trevor Lawrence's accomplishments. That quarterbacks will look at Clemson, and because it's been in the recent past, and we're moving farther and farther away from it. I mean, his national championship that he had was in 2018. That's what would see. I know it's like 5.5 years with the offseason and so on. I mean, we're moving farther and farther away from that, and we need to continue to cash in as much as we can so we can continue to have good brand awareness and brand relativity, meaning that it still carries some weight. Just like I had Alex from Locked On Canes on yesterday. I mean, the Miami Hurricanes did so great in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s that people still talk about them and the great brand. But the problem is they haven't produced in the past 20 years. They might have had a season here or there that was okay, but nothing to the expectations of that team and the historical expectations and performance of that team. Clemson doesn't want to get into that place. We don't want to be there. And so hopefully Trevor Lawrence's $275 million contract helps bring some attention on Clemson's school as to where maybe they're paying attention to Texas. Maybe these big-time high school recruits are paying attention to Texas, Georgia, still Alabama, maybe Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan. Michigan just won the national championship. They have a new head coach. But this brings attention onto the Tigers and could potentially, and I know I'm reaching here. I'll tell you at the 9:15 mark of this video, I am reaching. Because, folks, this is what it's going to take to get Clemson back to a place of dominance. I get this comment all the time from especially non-Clemson fans. It's like it took Dabo 2 once-in-a-lifetime quarterbacks to win a national championship. And my response is, yes. Do I think our coaching on the offensive side of the ball was much better then? Yeah, as a whole. I mean, we've seen our coordinators on the offensive side of the ball leave and go other places and not do so well. But as a whole, Barney and Andy runs Mayberry very well. Barney away from Andy doesn't do so well. Yes, that's an Andy Griffith reference. Remember when Andy went out of town? He put Barney in charge. 8 hours later, he comes back, meets outside of the courthouse. He's like, wow, it's quiet. And Barney's like, you didn't think I could do it. He's like, man, it's really quiet around here. You did a good job. And he walks in, and Barney's throwing everybody in jail. Sometimes Barney and Andy have to work together for Barney to do a good job. So, what qualities Barney does have, Andy can bring them out and then police the things that he's not so good at, right? That's how this works. But Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, they were once-in-a-lifetime players. And yes, they had really good talent around them. Yes, it made guys like T. Higgins go, yep, I want to go to Clemson and play with that guy. Yeah, I want to play. Hey, anybody else want to come play at Clemson? Oh, yeah, I'll sign up. Throw me in there. Throw me in there. Amari Rodgers? Yeah, I'll do it. We're buddies. You're going down there? Yeah, I'll go down there. I'll go play at Clemson. It'd be a blast. And that actually impacts who plays at your school, because other players can hit up other players and say, hey, why don't you come to Clemson and play with us? Man, we got this killer quarterback. We can basically run any play that we want. You'll get yours, I'll get mine, and we end up in the NFL making a lot of money. See, Trevor Lawrence just did it. So this could help Clemson. Folks, again, I am telling you, if you're watching this video and you're a Clemson fan, or especially if you're not a Clemson fan, you're going, Brian, you are really reaching on this one. I've already said that. But maybe, just maybe, it makes another incredible quarterback commit to Clemson out of high school. I'm not talking about a good quarterback. I'm talking about an outrageous, great quarterback. Someone who is blowing everybody away with their athleticism, their ability to throw the ball, their decision-making skills. But folks, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. There's been a lot of number one players out of high school. Number one quarterbacks coming out of high school since Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. And folks, I'm going to tell you this, a lot of them didn't deliver. Trevor Lawrence did. Deshaun Watson did. There was a lot of guys who put up great stats, maybe even won the Heisman Trophy, even got their team to the big game, but they did not deliver like these two did. So what I'm asking for lightning to strike in Clemson, South Carolina for a third time. Maybe, just maybe, some kid out there looks at Trevor Lawrence and says, I want what he's got, and it went through Clemson, South Carolina. Leave those comments below. Let me know what you think. Also, if I can get this, for some reason, YouTube's not been saving some of the stuff I've been putting in the body of my videos. Like, for some reason, it's not saving the email address. But if you want to join, I'm going to put it in there. If you want to join my email list, just to let you know, like I shot Roger Parks an email and said, hey, I'm going live. I'm going live. If you want to join that, put your email in that. Just respond to that email and say, hey, count me in. And I'll do my very best to let you know when I'm going live, because there's a lot of people who's like, man, I subscribed and I'm a member. And I even have the notification clicked, but for some reason, I'm still missing you. So I'm doing that. Hopefully that will help. And if I ever start doing anything later on to where I have merchandise or anything, you'll be able to know, hey, this is out and about. But let me know what you think about it. Does Trevor Lawrence's contract help Clemson? Does it maybe make them look a little better to these high school students who want to make a lot of money? They want to make it to the NFL. Maybe. Does this help? Am I reaching? Can you blame me? Folks, I look forward to hearing from you. As always, Go Tigers.